Hello everyone, Adachi here. Are you having trouble with Shark? Is he a bully? Well, hopefully I've got the ticket for you. At the end of the day, it will just take practice and perseverance, but hopefully some of this info can help you out in a pinch. Starting off with teams, Melee is going to be harder naturally. They have tighter counter timings and have less leeway when it comes to reacting to attacks. Because of this, I suggest controlling a ranged character to give you ample time to react to the boss, and they can counter every move. If you have Q, he can work as well since his counter timing is a little more forgiving. With tension cards, our biggest one is Ferocity for 1 free revive. Outside of that, you can never go wrong with the classic Full Party and Strike Zone. Outside of this, feel free to experiment. I think there are a lot of fun combinations you can do to fit how you want to play with tension. Opening up the Shark fight, he will always start with his underwater dash. Honestly, if you want to practice this move, this is the perfect time. Try to parry or dodge this attack, and if you struggle with it, just pause and restart real quick. This is the one move that is super easy to practice because of quick resets. I always try to dodge into his fin if I opt for a dodge, as I typically then never have to worry about the residual water rings that come out of him. Next attack he regularly cycles through is his triple bite. All of these attacks will track you, so it's not easy to just run away from it. You will see him wind his head back and his tail will go underground. Your only consistent options here are to perfect dodge or parry. As with most attacks, if you parry, it will end the attack, and you don't have to worry about the rest of the bites. If you opt for a dodge, remember that you're actually intangible for a brief period, long enough for the second bite to not hit, so you can just ignore it. The last hit, there aren't any strong tells when it's coming out. It's roughly 2 seconds after the second bite though, so you can time it in your head. Last of his repeating melee attacks is his tail swipe. His body will coil together toward the left, and from start of animation you have about 1.5 seconds until it connects with you. This one will keep Shark stationary, so if you're quick enough to react, you can actually run out of this one. I find this timing to be even tighter than just getting a perfect dodge or a parry though. Finally, his last regular repeating attack is his ranged water beam. This one is pretty easy to see coming as he will start swimming away toward one edge of the arena. This is a ranged attack, so standard melee counters won't work here. Counter timing, you just have to be near the beam. I would play around with this timing though, as the hitbox is a bit bigger than it actually looks. I also like to be a little closer to the Shark as it gives you a little bit of a wider window to actually get the dodge or parry. Once countered, from what I've tested, you won't be hit by the beam anymore, so this is a perfect opportunity to punish him while he's stuck finishing the move. Dodge timing is also pretty generous. I typically just dodge into the beam. And again, with some testing, it seems you also can't get hit by the beam once you perfect dodged it once. To round off phase 1, for most people, he will do his fun bomb attack after 4 other attacks, including his opening water dash. This is your big punishing window as he goes to the center, shoots off some bombs in different directions, and charges his tension. The entire time just waiting to get pummeled, so start whooping his ass. It's just important that by the time he starts charging at you, you need to be standing in the direction of a bomb. From the very second he starts spitting out bombs from the center, you have about 8 to 9 seconds for him to start charging at you. As soon as he starts going into the air, he's already decided where to charge, so you can choose to dodge, parry, or run out of the way and wait for him to eat a bomb. This is now your safe zone to not get hit by the other bombs and again pummel away. If you've been hit enough to naturally get Shark to EX tension, or you chop off around 4 bars of health, he will now start incorporating the water rings and the super fun, barely enough time to react jump move, I will call it. For the water rings, he will teleport to the center of the arena and start spinning around. You can't get hit by this, but he moves so fast it's hard to actually punish him here. And in case I forget to mention it, later on he will get a slight change with this spinning move, and you can get hit by it. For this one though, since you can't get hit, I usually like to try to stay in the center of the rings. It is a smaller arena, but since he just starts cycling through his normal attacks again, I find it easier to react in here rather than trying to pay attention to dodging the outer rings. After he's done spinning, you will now see 3 layers of water rings descending on the outer edges of the arena. These will cycle repeatedly for a while, although best to just stay away from them altogether. You can dodge these, but they cannot be countered. After 4 bars are gone, I don't believe you can trigger this move early. He will be practicing his magic act and start disappearing. Music will stop playing, no more fun shark noises. This is when you should be scared. You'll get the neat danger warning, a circle will appear near you, and then the shark jumps up to eat you. From the warning sign, you should have about 1 second for the attack to hit. I don't really have tips here because it's so fast, but I typically try to counter or dodge as soon as I see the circle appear on the ground. If you're going to counter, I would typically face toward the center of the arena, as I find where he actually jumps from seems to be finicky at times. You have about 2 to 3 seconds before he drops back down and hits you again. This timing is more generous, so it can be parried, dodged, or you can just run away altogether. The hitbox on the way down though is pretty big, so if you do run, get a decent distance away. Remember that all these attacks I've gone over, as soon as they've happened once, they can happen again, so you can just consider them a regular part of his arsenal. Finally, the last attack to go over is after he has about 1 to 2 bars remaining, he will teleport to the center to start setting up water rings like normal, but this time the spinning can hurt you, and because of the next part you definitely want to stay on the edge of the map. Start running around the arena because this time the spin in the center has created a typhoon that will hurt you, and Sharky here will start charging at you from it repeatedly. If you run around the arena though, making sure not to get hit by the rings, you will be completely fine. Once this is over, everything goes quiet and more fun jump moves. And that's it. Those are all of Shark's moves. Hopefully this was helpful, and hope you got to beat Shark's ass in style. Thanks for watching, and as always, like, comment, subscribe, or don't. See ya.